everyone, you're watching Newegg TV. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm going to be giving you a product overview of the SteelSeries Sensei mice Pro Grade Laser Mouse, the standard version and also the MLG version. All right, so here we have everything that comes in the box. We have the mouse, we have your SteelSeries badge, we have your multilingual quick start guide, and a little snack. Just kidding, don't eat that. All right, so let's talk about the physical features of this mouse. Now, it's ergonomically designed to be comfortable for however you prefer to hold your hand. So you can do a standard hold or claw hold, and the buttons are actually quite sensitive from all the way back here. So depending on how you hold your hand in gaming, the mouse is very simplistic in its design, but I think it gets the job done. You have 8 buttons overall, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, your left and right click, the scroll wheel, and also the CPI adjustment button. Now, speaking of CPI, this sensor features up to 8200 CPI sensitivity, which is programmable once you get into the software, which I'll talk about in a little bit. You get 6.5 feet of braided cable ending in a gold-plated USB. And this mouse has 3 programmable LED regions, so you have 16.8 million color options to choose from to program for your color wheel, this LED light here, and also the SteelSeries logo. Now, flipping it over, this is the interesting part of this mouse. Right here, and I'll get into it with the other one, which is plugged in behind me, we have an LCD menu that allows you to program onboard the mouse 5 different gaming profiles, and it also supports user personalized bitmap images, so you can assign your own bitmap image to each of those profiles so that you can remember which game or program you have set for it. So some more interesting tech specs. I went through the CPI with you. This also has a FPS of 12,000, a IPS of 150 plus. We have a lift distance of 1 to 5 millimeters, so depending on how high you lift the mouse off the mousing surface, you should still get good traction there. I told you about the 8 buttons and the 6.5 feet of braided cable, so that is it. Let's go into the software now so I can show you all of the great features. Okay, so I've gone to the SteelSeries website and downloaded the engine software, which has detected that I have the MLG version of the Sensei mouse plugged in. It's showing me all of the different programmable buttons available. You'll notice that this button here below your scroll wheel is not a programmable button. That is purely for your CPI adjustment as well as going through the onboard programs, which I'll show you in a moment. But you do have all of the other button assignments here, and it tells you what the default settings for those are. The software is drag and drop design, so you can simply click on what button you would like to adjust, what key press you would like to assign to that. If you want it to be a key press macro, you can also launch an application, have a text macro, or completely disable the key altogether. If you find that you accidentally squeeze it and don't want it to do anything, you can turn it off. You can rename it and also set up a tooltip for you. And I kind of like this about SteelSeries engine software. Over here in the corner, they always have tips for whatever you're working on. So if I go to button 4, the tip will give me something, a little bit of advice that's relevant to what I'm trying to do, which is great for novice gamers or anyone trying to learn about setting up their own programs in these peripherals. I kind of wish everybody did that. All right, so here we go, onboard profiles. You can set up as many profiles as you would like in the SteelSeries software, but keep in mind that the mouse itself can only carry 5 at a time. So if you have your 5 usual profiles and you want to switch to profile 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000, you need to make sure that you go into the software and reassign profile 5 to whichever profile that is. Under settings, we have all the various adjustments, so you can work on the sensor. The default is for CPI 1 is 1600, CPI 2 is 3200. Now the DCPI feature is double CPI, and it says that this has a double CPI available up to 16,400. I don't know why you would need a mouse that sensitive, but you might, and you can program it here. So also the exact lift helps you change how high you have to raise the mouse before it stops tracking. So I have it set pretty low here. The default has it set pretty low here. You can set it pretty high if you want it to still track when you're waving the mouse around in the air. There you go. The exact accel, so that helps you with your CPI acceleration speeds, and I think this has up to 30G available is what the box says. But anyway, you can change your acceleration here, and also your aim adjust can be changed here. So up in the tips corner, it's telling me that very slow, deliberate movements of the mouse are made with a dynamically decreased sensitivity. So that helps you increase precision. And that's cool. I love these little relevant tips they give me for, you know, setting up my different features. And then the SteelSeries Free Move, that helps you with path correction or angle snapping. So in, I'm thinking probably first-person shooters, you would probably want it to prevent jittery motion or incorrect angles when aiming. So there you go. Also down here, this is those 16.8 million colors I was telling you about. So you can go to the wheel, here are your standard colors, here's your more colors, you pick, I want this random bit of green over here, okay. And my logo, I want to be pink, and I'm good with that being white. So then I can save this, and that's saved under Profile 1, and then I can come back up, and so up here it says, MLG Sensei Default 1, because I didn't give it a name. But if I wanted to give it a name and call it Jenny's profile or whatever, it would save it in the mouse as my first profile. Under properties, so this is, you can set profiles to automatically be selected when certain applications are active. So if you have a few applications that you use more commonly, you can set them to automatically change the profile when you open them up. So that's pretty cool. And then the statistics, I think this is great. This is a mapper for how your mouse is used. So it tells you how often you're clicking this button and this button, how often you're using which profiles, and it tracks that information for you. So after a few months, maybe not even that long, depending on how often your usage is, but after a few, you know, good sessions of gaming, maybe under a default profile, you can kind of set a base for how you use your mouse and then use that to help you set up your various programs and macros. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to show you in the software. Now I would like to move on to showing you the onboard LCD screen and its features. Okay, so now with it plugged in, you can see on the LCD screen here, it says MLG, which is the MLG version. Oh, look, it's purple now, haha. The MLG version, or Major League Gaming version of the Sensei, which is what I had plugged into the computer. And that's really the only difference between this version of the Sensei and the one that I demonstrated for you earlier. Okay, so taking a look now at the LCD screen. In order to access your different profile modes, you hold down the CPI adjustment button for a long click, so like 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and release, and then it shows you your profile menus, which you can scroll through just using the right or left click, lower click buttons on the side. So I'm just scrolling through now. Now if I had set up a different profile or set up features for a profile in the program, I would be accessing those now this way loaded onto the mouse. So I'm selecting profile 3, and there it goes. Now it is on profile 3, and I'm ready to game. Okay, well that wraps up this product overview of the SteelSeries Sensei mouse standard version and MLG version. If you liked this video or found it informational, please like it and also subscribe to our various YouTube channels. Until next time, I'm Jennifer, and thank you for watching Newegg TV.